Oh, so I woke up today without feeling sick or nauseous, which I've been nauseous and throwing up for the last few days. So hungry, but not able to eat anything because I just throw it up. It's a condition I have. I might even do another video about this condition. But anyway, I woke up today not nauseous and not sick. And so I felt really, really great. But I wasn't planning on doing any YouTube videos. But then I saw, as soon as I woke up, the news that Taylor Swift invited Blake Lively to her wedding, and it sounds so stupid, but I was pretty devastated, and I wanted to do a video about that. But I seem hyper and energetic because I'm not sick. So I'm like, oh, I'm really excited because I'm not throwing up and I'm not sick and I can eat, but I'm disappointed because I'm a huge Swiftie, and a lot of people in this community who are talking about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and that whole mess, a lot of them say they think Taylor Swift and Blake have been friends this whole time, and this kind of confirms their dislike of Taylor Swift. But I don't dislike Taylor Swift. I'm actually a real Swiftie. I love her music. I have two girls, young girls, who love her music. My husband even likes her music, and my husband and I don't like any of the same music for the most part. So this is, as stupid as it might seem, I'm really sad about this because one of the things I hear often from my friends and my family members, extended family relatives, colleagues, is that even if they're not big Swifties, maybe they don't even know her music or couldn't even name more than one or two songs. They say they like that Taylor Swift is a good role model. And now knowing that she is friends and is continuing to be friends with somebody like Blake Lively, it's like, I know the whole thing about separating the art from the artist because so my three favorite musicians of all time are Michael Jackson, Prince, and Taylor Swift. And Michael Jackson, that's really complicated because I know a lot of people think he's a predator, and I don't know. And I have never done the deep dive into that. But I don't believe that he's a predator because of what I have looked into and how I see how the media can just take someone down and destroy them with false claims. And I see how that happens so easily. I feel like Michael Jackson was a victim of a takedown, but I don't know for sure. And I haven't done a deep dive into that. But Prince is another musician whom I just love. And I know Prince wasn't Mr. Goody Goody Two Shoes. And then there's been things that came out recently, a lot of really bad things about Prince that somehow has gone under the radar. But one of the things is that he was physically abusive in the past to girlfriends. And that honestly wouldn't surprise me that much. So that's a situation, again, where I can separate his genius art from the artist. But with Taylor Swift, what makes her so special to so many people is that you don't have to separate the art from the artist. Here's an artist who's like an everyday woman, or at least portrays herself that way, who's sweet and kind, and, like we can all relate to her. Then it's like, how sweet can she be if she supports Blake Lively? Oh, here's my Taylor Swift 1989 earrings. That's my favorite album of Taylor's, but the Tortured Poets Department is a close second. I could do a whole YouTube channel on Taylor Swift. I know, I love her music. She has so much music, and I could do deep dives into all her songs. I could create a whole YouTube channel about this. I really love Taylor Swift. I'm a true Swiftie. And now I'm like, it's hard because I think Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are such horrific people. And when I saw that Taylor Swift joined in on this takedown, it really bothered me. But then when she distanced herself from Blake Lively, I was thinking, okay, maybe she sees the writing on the wall and she's going to legitimately not be friends with somebody who's a horrible person. And that's not what happened. And if you haven't been keeping up with the Blake Lively debacle, Taylor really did help her take over this movie, at least with the little bit of text that we saw, she went to Blake, asked her to go to her penthouse and talk about how much she liked Blake's edit over Justin's edit, even though Blake told Taylor she didn't even have to watch her edit, just say that she did and it was the best thing ever. And then they had the text exchange after that meeting where they laughed about what a doofus Justin Baldoni was. And again, as they were talking about Justin Baldoni and ridiculing him, they weren't calling him a predator or talking about sexual harassment. It was just like they thought they were better than him and that he was inexperienced and he was too earnest and they just thought he didn't know what he was doing. And they wanted, Blake wanted to take over this movie. She made it very clear to Justin Baldoni that her dragons, is what she called Ryan, her husband, and Taylor, her bestie, that they would, for better or worse, that they would be in her corner and have her back. Can you imagine? You're trying to make a movie and this A-lister is trying to take over the movie and then they let you know that their bestie Taylor Swift is on their corner. How scary to know that Taylor Swift could speak out against you. Taylor Swift, all Taylor would have to do is go out and make a statement in support of Blake, and Justin would be done for. So I'm really glad that Taylor at least didn't do that. But still, she has so much power, and everything she does, I'm sure, is controlled and planned ahead, and her reputation is so very important to her. So I'm really disappointed that she is distancing herself, but now inviting Blake. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to distance myself. I'm not going to get my hands any more dirty than they've already been. But now I still want to be friends with Blake, but I don't want to have to speak to what happened in this scandal and my part in this scandal. And in my opinion, the worst thing Taylor did was make fun of Justin for speaking out about him being a victim of sexual assault. And again, I don't understand this new form of feminism or girl power that is about taking down and destroying men who are earnest, men who are authentic, and men who are vulnerable. And as women, if they come out with stories of sexual abuse or assault, usually they're treated like royalty, except in these cases where we then find out that a lot of what they said wasn't honest or truthful. However, when men come out and speak about being victims, a lot of times they just instantly get ridiculed. And to me, as somebody who used to consider myself a feminist, I don't understand how ridiculing vulnerable men who allow themselves to be vulnerable, is going to help relationships between men and women, is going to help defeat toxic masculinity. It's like we're creating toxic masculinity when we tell men that if they speak out against their own issues of being harassed or abused or assaulted, that they are somehow stupid, and we ridicule them and we make fun of them like Blake and Taylor did. And Taylor even mentioned a tiny violin, which she also sang about in her song Canceled, which was about Blake Lively. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, what would you do if you had an artist who you've loved for a long time and didn't just love their art, whether it was movies or music or books, but you also love them as a person and you thought you wanted your children to emulate them and you just thought that this was a really great person, and then you find out that they're friends with and they support somebody who you truly think is, I don't know about evil, but just not a good person. And how do you feel about that? Do you think somebody could be friends and support somebody who's a horrible person and still themselves be a good person? I don't know. It's tough. I'm very disappointed today. I'm very excited that I'm not sick and nauseous and that I can eat because I'm so hungry and I haven't been able to eat for a few days. But I'm really sad about Taylor Swift. And I don't know are there any Swifties out there who are huge Swifties, but also hate Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds because of this whole scandal and are upset about this? Let me know in the comments if anybody even watches this video. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch this video. But at the very least, since I'm making these YouTube videos now, I can just tell myself that these are content for my videos. It's the gift that never stops giving, I guess. You guys have a great day. Thank you.